Okay, so today we are going to do Aloo Gobi, which is an Indian dish, very common dish in the northern part of India. It's pretty simple. It should not take more than 15 to 20 minutes. I mean, you have the ingredients out here. The cauliflower, which is washed and cut into dices like this. We have red potatoes. Red potatoes are good for health. It has more fiber than the normal potatoes. We have cut green chilies or the bell pepper. You have bay leaves. You have cilantro, and you have a tablespoon of crushed ginger and coriander powder, chili powder, as well as a little bit of turmeric powder. And we have cumin seeds, which is one of the most important ingredient. And we have some salt to taste, roughly around a teaspoon. And we have this spice, which is available in Indian stores. We call it as hing or asafoetida. I've placed a little bit on this piece of paper for ease of use, and then some oil, and I use sunflower oil, which is healthy. And with a vessel in the stove, we are going to start now. The first step is to have a little bit of oil. I'll have two caps of the oil to heat up a little bit. And once the oil gets heated up, the first thing to add is this hing, or the little bit of hing that we have. First thing that we add a little bit, and then the the spice, which is cumin seeds, which is half a teaspoon or even a little less than that. And this is going to be like again used as much as you want, and I really feel that this much is enough, so I'm just going to leave it. And this is more towards it has got medicinal value, it's got amazing taste, and it really goes well with this dish. So once cumin seeds are added, and you see the brown color in there with the cumin seeds coming up, and when it gets brown, you get a beautiful smell, and that's the time when you start adding some green peppers. Again, add as much as you want. If you want it really spicy, you can add more, or just stop it over here. It depends on your taste. And also a little bit of bay leaves. If you want, you can crush it a little more, and then add the bay leaves also in there. So these bay leaves also give the flavor. And look at the smell, it's already smelling really cool. And just allow the chilies to get heated up in such a way that the skin of the chilies or the pepper becomes a little soaked up. So once leave it for a few minutes though, just to make sure that both bay leaves and the chilies get cooked along with the other two ingredients that we had added. So there are 4 ingredients that have been added so far. So once that is done, and you feel that the chilies are cooked enough, here I have the next ingredient, with this grated ginger or crushed ginger, along with coriander powder and a little bit of red chili powder and turmeric. I've mixed all together with a little bit of water, so I'm just adding that over here. And I'm making sure that this is also getting cooked along with the other spices. If you want, you can add a little bit of water now, which is to just make sure that the spices are not getting burned. Just a little, not too much though. And just leave it until get cooked for a little while. Just leave it for 3 to 4 minutes. Once this paste is added to the ingredient, and after that is added, then comes the actual ingredient, which is cauliflower and red potatoes. So I usually add it completely directly into the vessel. And now just make sure that vegetables are well mixed inside, so the spices touch to every piece of the vegetable that you have inside. It may take a little time, which is okay, so you can take that time to turn around the vegetable like this. You may want to have a spoon which is easy to turn around, and it may look as if there is not enough spice, but you will be surprised that after some time when it gets cooked, all the vegetables will have the flavor uniform. Just make sure that everything gets a pinch of the spices that you've added before. And at this time you may want to increase the heat a little bit. And the next thing to add is salt. So there is a reason for salt to be added at this point of time, that anytime salt is added to any vegetable, it loses water. So at this time I want this spice which is added to the vegetable to get soaked inside a little more. So I add the salt so that the water leaves from the vegetables and it will ooze out, and that's the time the spices get in. So it's like eating the vegetable so much. I'm sprinkling some salt, again it depends on your taste. Take the lid and close it for some time. So we'll come back after 15 minutes. In between, if it's possible, just take the lid like this and just rotate the vegetables just to make sure that the spice is getting onto each vegetable very well. And so, like this, you may want to open and do this and again close it and leave it for a few more minutes. We'll come back in next 10 to 15 minutes. So now when we look at it back, as I told you, it's more wet. And the vegetables are getting cooked. So that's the specialty of salt. We did not add any water other than adding into the spice in the beginning, and look how much of water has the vegetables left. And now this would allow the vegetable to get cooked as well as to absorb the spices in very different ways. So although it is a little watery now, it will take some time for the vegetables to absorb it completely with the spices and the smell and the flavor. So we're going to leave it for perhaps another 10 minutes, and then we should be good to take it off and serve. So once in a while. So this whole process of cooking would take, after all the vegetables are added into this vessel, the whole process would take somewhere around 15 to 20 minutes. It depends on the intensity of your flame or the electric stove, and also at what level you are keeping the heat. And then I'm closing around and we'll come back after 5 minutes. Alright, so we are almost at the end of this, and some of the water has already evaporated and some have gone inside the vegetable along with the spices, as you see. So just make sure there is a final check on all the vegetables, whether they have been evenly cooked. If you look at this, it is really cooked, so you can see the texture of the vegetable and see that it is cooked or not. And the final garnishing that you can do, there are several ways you can do, but I prefer having the cilantro leaves, which is the best garnishing thing, and I cut it on the fly like this. Cut it with your fingers and just garnishing it at the top of it. You can do it in any size you want, any shape you want. Anything which is done with hands, clean hands though, is usually more tasty. So do a final turn around of all the vegetables. You see some of the vegetables getting softer, and if you leave it a little more, it will become like a paste. To finish this dish, and take it out. You can transfer the contents into a serving bowl, very much like this. So the dish Aloo Gobi is ready, and you can look at the steam which is coming out of it. And you can use a spoon to serve it along with your favorite dish like a tortilla or a chapati or naan or roti. Any bread will go very well with this, or you can also serve with rice if you are making any other dish along with that. And this is one of the simplest and the tastiest food that usually Indians make at home. So enjoy and have a good time. Thanks for watching. Bye.